Hey, what's happening, guys? Mike Moo here. One of the frequently asked questions I get was about how to disable your Wi-Fi on your AT&T Uverse equipment. Now, you'll probably want to do this if you have replaced it and upgraded your Wi-Fi system with your own. So here's how to do it. One, you want to make sure that you are connected to your cable modem/router. Now, this is up to date as of September 8, 2020. Most of us are using the Aris Motorola BGW210-700. So this tutorial is specifically for that model here in 2020. There's a new one coming out. Unfortunately, I don't have my hands on that. And that probably won't be coming out to most of us for a while. So this will be valid until you get that new unit, but it'll probably be roughly the same. So first thing you have to do is connect onto your AT&T Wi-Fi modem/router unit, okay, that all-in-one. And a couple ways you can do that is connect it directly to the Wi-Fi, and that will be the AT&T one, and that will have the information. You see this thumbnail here from my 2020 update. It is typically on the cable modem router itself. So it'll have the Wi-Fi information and the Wi-Fi password. So that by default, if you didn't change any of that, it'll be right over there. Another way to find out is if you log on to myhomenetwork.att.com, log in with your payment and account information, and just click on My Wi-Fi. You click that and it will show your Wi-Fi information along with your password. Okay, so I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to do this, of course, live and show you. Okay, so once you connect to that, you will want to access it directly, and you will also need the information that you also find on here. There's going to be a device access code also next to that sticker, and it'll be either this sticker up here, if you can see that, or it'll be a sticker somewhere else down here. Okay, so that's going to be the information that you're going to use to log in. So there's going to be a device access code. You'll need that to get in a lot of cases. All right. Now, I had changed my IP address of my AT&T Uverse system to work with my Netgear Orbi. So my IP address is going to be different from your IP address. Because I changed mine, it is going to be 192.168.0.254. Okay. Now, if you didn't change it and you're just going in there to just adjust some things, your default IP address will be 192.168.1.254. And you just open this up in a browser. So that's all you need to do in order to get access to it. Now, if you still don't know what it is and you can't figure out what that is, there's a number of things you can do. You can do a complete hard reset of your unit, reset it to default. It'll change everything back to what it says on the sticker. If you want to find out directly what it is after you connect it to the Wi-Fi, though, is you can do what I just did there. Click the start menu down here, type in CMD, that opens up the command prompt, and then type in IP config, CONFIG. Right? When you do that, it'll give you some information about your network and what you're connected to. What you're looking for is the default gateway, and this is the number that you're going to look for right here, this one right here. 192.168.0.254. Once you have that information down, type that into the browser, press enter, and you should see an AT&T symbol up here, and this is basically the whole control panel console for your AT&T router. Okay, if this doesn't show up, that just means that you don't have the right gateway, you don't have the information typed in appropriately. Just check your information again. Or you are not connected onto the network or the Wi-Fi. Now, if you don't have Wi-Fi access and you want to configure all this stuff later, you're going to have to physically connect a cable from the computer to the actual modem router in order to get to this page, into one of the LAN ports, LAN ports. All right. Now, as you can see right here, once you log in, you have the whole status of the information here, along with your, see, this is enabled. This means my 2.4 gigahertz radio is enabled. And also my 5 gigahertz radio status is enabled. So I got both of them enabled. There is a guest account, which is in fact disabled. And it gives you a bunch of other information here. Now, what you got to do is go to Home Network, I believe. Just click over there. and then click on Wi-Fi. And then this is where you enter in your access code. All right, to make any changes, that's that sticker in the back of your AT&T modem router. Right. Now, this has all the information that you have. You can change your AT&T network name or your security password or anything like that. And if you want to turn it off, click on Advanced Options. You see that right there? There was Basic Options. You can do the Advanced Options. And then you can actually turn on or off the different Wi-Fis. Okay, so there's a 2.4 gigahertz and there's a 5 gigahertz radio configuration off. If you want them all off, then you're going to go over here and click on off, okay, for the 2.4. You can go make sure this is, all this stuff is off. So Wi-Fi operation, turn that off, okay. And basically all this stuff would be able to, all this, as you configure and change these things, it'll go ahead and, gray out the different settings once it's off. Now you're not done yet. After you do that, you go down to the bottom and you click on Save, right? When you click on Save, that's when these settings will be saved to the unit. What might happen after this is that your modem will have to reboot. Okay, so it's going to take a couple minutes to reboot. Once it's back online, everything else should be working as it was before, with the exception of your Wi-Fi being off. Okay, so you won't be able to access it through Wi-Fi like the way I am showing over here. This will no longer show at all if you do it properly by doing, okay, so let me show you doing off. So the 2.4 gigahertz is off. 5 gigahertz, turn that off. So that's all off. Don't worry about this SSID stuff on, and then you click on Save, right? That's how you turn that off. Now, one of the frequently asked questions in the past was that, well, should I leave this on or leave this off? I did some speed tests myself, and I found that because of the property and the size of our home property is so big, we don't get affected by the Wi-Fi signals from the neighbors. So there's enough frequencies to go around that it doesn't affect the quality and speed of my internet by having these both on. I did that speed test in that one video when I first configured AT&T fiber in 2020 with this new system. So there was not enough interference for me to even turn these off. So it didn't really matter, and nor is the Motorola strong enough that it will interfere with my neighbor's stuff. So, basically no interference between this, no interference between my Netgear Orbi or my other Wi-Fi stuff. So there was no major reason to turn it off. And plus I'm doing a lot of these up-to-date videos to show everybody how to do things with their AT&T. So that's why I keep it on. Now, if you turn it off and you want to get back into it again and you don't have a cable, here's the good news. Because you are on the AT&T system, when you log into My Home Network AT&T.com, you can actually enable your account, your network account information back on through this. Okay, so in here somewhere it'll tell you, hey, your Wi-Fi is off. You want to turn it on? Then you can go ahead and configure that. And actually, if you can't even get to it, there's many different ways. You can contact their help, and they can manage, and they can restart your network and basically reset everything or turn your Wi-Fi on for you. So, there's always a way back to it. And then finally, if you just all want to do it yourself, you mess up somewhere, if you just happen to mess up your network somehow, somewhere, doing something wrong for whatever reason, you can always do a hard reset, and that's just holding down the reset button on the back of your unit for 30 seconds. That'll reset everything back to factory default. Okay, so basically that is one of the fail-safes that you can do. You'll find this and other frequently asked questions in my video series. You can just check out my channel and type in AT&T, and you should be able to find everything that you have there. I've answered a lot of them. This is one of the ones that I wanted to specifically address because I still get people asking me about that. And yes, it is better to turn off your Wi-Fi if you don't need it. And I use Netgear Orbi, so ideally I can turn off the Wi-Fi. And that's just the way you do it. All right, that's it for this video. Please give it a like, subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. And if you like the type of videos that I do, I have just created a new channel called Everyday Reviews for Everyday Life, and that's going to be a specifically more of a casual, non-techie type of channel where I talk about things that I don't normally cover in this channel. So please check it out and subscribe over there if you're interested. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.